Hey guys, and welcome to term 3, slightly unusual term 3. I think we all expected to be somewhere completely different and in a very different situation, but here we are. So essentially in this video I'm gonna go through how we're gonna teach and learn in term 3 and also go through the assessment brief, because I'm sure as you've noticed that it's changed somewhat. Okay, let's start with the assessment changes, because I'm guessing that's the most pressing question right now. Okay, good news is that the changes that has happened is all in your favor, and there's nothing here that will be detrimental to the work that you have already done or the work that you're preparing to do based on the changes that we now have around us. Okay, there are essentially two changes to the assessment. One is that the hand-in is now in week 27, so you get an additional 2 weeks. Woohoo! The other one is in the revised assessment task, and here it's the wording. The video production will utilize both bespoke audio and visual production elements, either from self-shot footage or found footage, either collected from the internet and other sources or from your own archive. Okay, essentially this means that if you are unable to shoot the video that you proposed and planned in the A1, you can now change that, or you can exclude the self-shot footage that you had planned and replace that with found footage, and there's no penalty to this. Apart from this, there are no other changes to the assessment. There is the aspect that the found footage that you're using needs to be based on research, so we'll do a lesson or a part of a lesson where we talk about how that can be incorporated and integrated. Like many of the other modules on your course, we'll be using Zoom for the real-time aspect of the lesson, and then we're using Teams for the written part and the group chats. You'll find instructions and links to both of these apps on the module page on Moodle. As the assessment has changed and there's relatively few lessons left on the module, the lesson structures are divided between assessment feedback, where you guys are going to help each other improve your submissions and make sure that both your visual and written work is top-notch. It'll be easy to talk about this lesson structure once we're in class, but essentially each session will start with a review session where we'll talk about ongoing assessment work, hot topics and questions that was raised in chats. Then we'll do a lecture video, and this will be based around ideas to improve your assessment work depending on what you're doing right now. And then after that, you will have activities where you look at each other's work. It can either be the visual part or the written part, and then you'll write a critique and based on the learning outcomes, how this work can be improved. Okay, I'm sure you have lots more questions, and as we've been on a break, this week's lesson, this week's online real-time session, will look at answering those questions, talk about the assessments, and then move on with some tasks. Okay guys, stay safe and see you next week.